in the batter's box. Find a way.
All right, Dodgers need to find a way to get back in the win column after dropping the last two games over the weekend to the Braves. And Mookie Betts is back in the lineup. Let's send it upstairs to Joe and Oral for first pitch. Dodgers and Giants. Take it away, Joe.
This is always Budweiser.
All right, John, and what a scene at Dodger Stadium. It is a beautiful night for baseball as the old rival comes in for the first of four, the Dodgers and the Giants. And as you said, John, Mookie Betts comes in, making his return from the injured list. His first game in more than a month as we welcome inside. Hope the week's off to a great start. Joe Davis with Oral Hershiser. This offense that's not looked like you figured it would for the last few weeks gets a big boost today. Mookie Betts is back and right in the 2 spot.
Yeah, we're glad to have him back. When he started the year out, 8 games in, first 5 hits, he got 2 were home runs. Well, we'd love to see that because the lineup needs some pop. It also needs Mookie Betts to be Mookie Betts. He's coming off some years where the OPS continues to decline. We need him to really be good to get this offense going.
For more on Betts' return, down to Kirsten Watson.
Hope is that Mookie Betts can be the spark that this offense has been missing. But when it comes to Mookie's activation this afternoon, that did mean that there was a tough conversation behind the scenes for a young player in Alex Freeland. Dave Roberts said that ultimately right now Haesung has been performing better. So the plan moving forward is that Haesung moving over to second base like he is this evening. For Mookie Betts, he's going to be playing at short. Of course, he's out there today. But right now, they're still going to manage that oblique strain early. So for him, he's going to play 3 of 4 of this Giant series, then 2 of 3 over the weekend. So Miguel Rojas is going to be backing him up at short. But once Mookie is in a position where he can be out there every day, they're going to have him platoon with Haesung Kim, guys.
All right, Kirsten, and the Dodgers and Giants get together for the first time since last month when they met in San Francisco. That was a pitching-dominated series. There were 10 runs total. So let's talk about pitching in this series. The Dodgers have their Japanese trio lined up to begin it.
Yeah, you got 2 youngsters that are bookending a couple of Cy Young candidates that would love to get that done. And the starting rotation lately has not been going deep into games. They came out of the series with Atlanta, an ERA over 6. They're going to need some quality innings, and it's going to start with Roki Sasaki. He's going to have to land the fastball and the split to keep these Giants off the bases.
All right, Sasaki trying to build off going 6 innings for the first time this year in his last start. The top of the order finally looks like the plan. Ohtani and Betts and Dodgers when we come back.
Mookie Betts back in the Dodgers lineup after missing 32 games, back in the 2-hole as well, where he was last year. Nomar, what's that first game like after missing a good chunk of time like Mookie has?
It kind of feels like opening day. You're excited, the energy. You're like, I'm back here on a big field. You've been working hard to try to get back, so you kind of feel that because you have a little bit of nerves and anxiety as well, which is all fun to go through.
That is a great point. That's exactly what I was going to say. It feels like an opening day for Mookie Betts. And I always said when I feel a little bit too hyped, I want to play the game at 80%. Allow the game to come to me. And Mookie Betts is a veteran guy. He knows that. But he's definitely excited and nervous. It's always good to be nervous.
You get those butterflies all over again.
You want to be nervous. That means you care and you can do your thing.
Well, Mookie Betts certainly cares, and hopefully he will be providing the spark. This Dodgers offense been scuffling a bit for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Dodgers against the rival Giants. Roki Sasaki on the mound with Joe and Oral calling first pitch right after this.
Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s new Western Bacon Chicken Sandwich with freshly hand-breaded all-white meat and just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Roki Sasaki's headed in to make his 7th start of the season. Mookie Betts making his return. And never a bad time to see a smiling Freddie Freeman, who will bat third for the Dodgers tonight and start at first base per usual. But the Giants took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers when these teams met up last month, and so now they have the edge in the all-time series. It goes back to the 1890s, 1,290 to 1,289. Pitchers duels in those 3 games in San Francisco, as it often is this time of year. It was really cool and breezy weather in those 3 games with just 10 runs combined as the Giants took 2 of 3. And Betts is back, his first game since April 4th when he injured his oblique, and the second road game of the season in Washington, D.C. and plugged right into the 2 spot and right back at shortstop for Dave Roberts. The lineup for the Giants here in Game 1, and their manager Tony Vitello will look like this with Jung-Hoo Lee moving into the leadoff spot a couple weeks ago. Luis Arraez bats second. Casey Schmidt didn't even have a spot when the season began. He's now irreplaceable in that lineup. They're finding a way to get him in there one way or another just about every game. Rafael Devers, a couple doubles yesterday as he tries to get going. Elliot Ramos in left field hitting 5th. The shortstop is Willie Adames with Matt Chapman coming off a 2-double game yesterday. He was 1 for his previous 30. They're hoping that is a sign of things to come. Dodgers get Betts back. The Giants get Bader back, his first game in a month. And Jesus Rodriguez, the rookie catcher, bats 9th. So here is Sasaki, who makes his first start in 9 days. You got to go back to last Saturday in St. Louis when he went 6 innings for the first time this year.
They've been working on some things with him, and it's been well documented that they've changed his grip on his split finger a little bit to kind of bring it more narrow so it's a little faster with a little less break so he can land it some more. And outside of that pitch, landing that more for strikes, that's got to help his fastball, because it seems like most hitters are just spitting on the splitter and just waiting for the fastball, and they're narrowing it down to 1 speed. So you got to really be specific with your location if some hitters are just sitting on 1 speed and 1 speed only.
Yeah, so 382 against that fastball. That's what's made it a big deal the last 2 starts, that he's thrown that different splitter at such a high rate in the strike zone, more than 60%. It was below 40 before he made the change to the pitch. Off we go with a fastball that Lee pounces on. Lines to left center. Hernandez plucks it. Highlight play to start the game.
Well, he may be struggling at the plate, but he did not take his bats out there on this first pitch, first swat. Great catch. This is a game changer for a starting pitcher, especially a youngster on the mound trying to find some success to get that kind of play behind you this early.
Teoscar Hernandez, who's had his issues, as you said, at the plate. Dave Roberts was just talking about it today. Dave Roberts always tries to find the positive. The defense has been way better, whether that's the eye test or looking at some of the advanced metrics so far for Teoscar Hernandez. Here's Luis Arraez, who gets in there in the crouch and takes a strike from Sasaki. Arraez is doing everything the Giants had hoped for and then some. The 3-time batting champion hitting .310, and he's also playing Gold Glove caliber defense at second, a position the Padres wouldn't let him play.
I love watching this guy play. It just feels like a baseball game when you're up there and he's trying to swat it. He's going to make sure he makes contact. He's going to run like the wind, and now he's playing good defense.
Yesterday he walked twice, which is like seeing pigs fly. Gives him 8 walks for the season, 8 walks to 7 strikeouts for the year. For Luis Arraez in his first season with the Giants. One of the lone bright spots in what has been the worst offense in baseball. Cracks this one in the air to left center field. Teoscar Hernandez with a busy start to this game. 2 up and 2 down. The Giants averaging just over 3 runs per game. It's last in the majors, and it's the worst for the Giants since 1902. It's the year before John McGraw took over as the manager. First of his 30 seasons. And now Tony Vitello in his first year as the skipper. He can't go out there and swing the bats for him, and it's a lot on his plate, a lot on his shoulders. Of course, anytime the team doesn't do well, it's going to shine on the manager some, and already skeptics coming in with him making the jump straight from college baseball. This has not been an easy start. At 16-24, only the New York Mets have fewer wins. 2 gone. Casey Schmidt hits it into left field, and we got a hat trick coming for Teoscar Hernandez and a 7-pitch first for Roki Sasaki. What a catch it was. First pitch of the series. Well, this is becoming a more common sight. Shohei Ohtani taking batting practice on the field before the game. I wish that I could report that he put on a show, but it was a work in progress for Ohtani, who is visibly frustrated throughout it as he tries to break out of this slump. He's hitting just 121 over his last 10 games. He leads off with Mookie Betts right behind him, Freddie Freeman and Kyle Tucker. Will Smith, Max Muncy at third. Tasker Hernandez down in the 8th spot, the lowest that he's hit since 2020. A bouncing ball to first on the first pitch that Trevor McDonald throws, and it takes him 1 pitch to retire Ohtani. So how about Trevor McDonald, who made his season debut last week against San Diego, gave up just 1 run over 7 innings, only needed 80-some pitches to go those 7 innings, and then he gets sent back down. This is just going to be a spot start, even with that performance. Logan Webb goes on the injured list, and so they say, come on back up, Trevor, you earned it. And here is Mookie Betts. Taking strike 1, and a sight for sore eyes here having Betts back. Dodgers yesterday just the 2 runs on 2 hits. All too common lately, games like that. And Mookie with his first game since April 4th, down 0-2.
That'll test your oblique. Getting out of the way, making sure you don't get in there.
Fly ball center field, Harrison Bader, and 1 returnee flies out to another.
Both these teams playing like they got a plane to catch so far. First pitch outs from the first inning for both starters, and then the hitters keep swinging.
7 pitch top of the first for Sasaki. 5 pitches to get the first 2 outs here for McDonald, and up comes Freddie Freeman, who was just 1 for 10 against Atlanta, although that lone hit was an impressive one, a home run against Chris Sale. Dodgers started the season 16-6. They were the #1 home run hitting team in baseball in that time. They were #1 in batting average, so a well-rounded attack. 8-10 since then, and they're the 24th ranked offense. Huge drop off in both those categories.
It really is about the top of the order, getting it going. The bottom of the order has done more than their share of the work.
Dave Roberts immediately plugs Mookie Betts into that 2 spot. He said he liked the idea of splitting up Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman, the left-handed hitters, and just change up that 2 spot, which no matter who has been in there, they've struggled for LA. Cracked into right center field, and a base hit for Freeman that's going to split the gap. Extra bases for Freeman with 2 gone here in the first. All he had to do is drop him out of the 2 spot, get out of the 2 spot, and he cranks 1.
It's a good piece of hitting. It's the 2-seamer coming back to the inner half, and he stays with it and gets it in the air, doesn't roll over it. And Freddie just continues to climb up the doubles tree. He is a doubles machine.
Now within 2 of the top 30. Jeff Kent, Eddie Murray, 560. Freddie now 558 with that 2-bagger. That keeps his first inning alive for Kyle Tucker. Quietly, Tucker going through a good stretch. He walked 3 times yesterday. His last 8 games, his OPS above 900. In all-star territory. And talking with some of the hitting coaches, they said enjoying the approach improvements that he's made. And now just waiting for a little better quality of contact. Takes a strike, 1-1.
I like the fact that he didn't swing at the first pitch. Feels like he's getting back to himself. That one was low and was a ball. Could have a nice 2-0 count.
Yeah, at his best, we're talking about the improvements in approach. At his best when he sees more pitches, works at bats. Ground ball back to McDonald. And an inning in the books here in Los Angeles. No score in the first of 4 between the Dodgers and the Giants.
This is the
LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal with a chance to win the $75,000 prize for Jack's 75th anniversary. Hot day in Los Angeles. Cooled off as the sun has started to go down, now in the low 70s and very comfortable at Dodger Stadium. Rafael Devers leads off and takes ball one from Sasaki. If the Giants are going to climb out of the cellar offensively, this has got to be the guy leading the way. And good signs lately. First 30 games, he was a 200 hitter with a total of 6 extra base hits. Just unrecognizable for Devers. He's doubled that extra base hit total, though, over his last 10 games, hitting .333 in that time. He is that superstar hitter they've been trying to sign for years. Traded for him last year and waiting for him to contribute in that fashion this year. Behind Sasaki, 1 and 2.
He's the kind of guy who can't take that responsibility into the batter's box because he would swing too much and chase too much. He's got to just let the game come to him.
Well, that's maybe why you're seeing the walk rate, which is normally a big part of what he does, cut from 15% for his career to 5% this year.
Yeah, I've always thought when I've watched him hit in this uniform that he wasn't a professional hitter. He was a powerful hitter that you would be kind of a little anxious to pitch to if you make a mistake. But if you make good pitches, he looked like he was an out. And you could tell he feels hitterish in the box right now. He wants to swing. So he's the kind of guy that if you can make it look like a strike, end up a ball, you should get some pretty good weak contact.
Leading off this second for the Giants, 3-2 from Sasaki is a fastball that's hit foul. Talk about him not walking as much. The entire lineup, last in the majors in home runs, last in the majors in walks. Their walk rate as a team is the lowest for any team in 60 years. Down the line to left, Hernandez over. See if he's got room. Not quite. What makes it even more remarkable that the walk rate is so low is that across baseball the walk rate is up. We're finding that that's one of the outcomes of the ABS. The strike zone a little bit smaller. Walks are way up across the league, but an historically low rate for this team.
He should have walked on that last pitch.
Instead, he'll see an 8th from Sasaki. And crank it to right center field. Tucker's going back. He'll turn and watch it fly. And Rafael Devers finds the seats to start the scoring. So Sasaki, who needed 7 pitches to go 1, 2, 3 in the first, needs 8 against Devers alone, and Devers leaves the building.
It's an up split and it's strike to strike, and that is not always the best pitch in a 3-2 count, and not the best pitch there, especially waist high to a power hitter.
Well, we talk about what ails this Giants offense. They may look at Sasaki and say this is what we need, because the 2 things they don't do are the 2 things that he tends to allow. 1-0 San Francisco. Here's Elliot Ramos fouling off a first pitch fastball. He has the worst home run rate in baseball, does Sasaki, and the 3rd worst walk rate.
There's so much potential in this body, but it needs to be refined, and he's having to refine it at this level.
He gets an extended chance to do that. It doesn't sound like that there was thought of sending him down, but Blake Snell comes back from the injured list, and that was looming all along, but it happens at the same time Tyler Glasnow goes onto the IL. Tapper right side that finds a hole with the defense shifted around on Ramos to pull, and back-to-back hits to open this second.
It's the kind of luck that Snell had in his first start back. A lot of weak contact that found some holes and some infield hits, and then the legitimate hits and a few walks get in your way. You got to show some mental toughness right now. Giving up the home run and a weak base hit, you can't think it's going to spiral out of control. You got to get right back on the mound and get back in the zone.
Here's Willie Adames. We talk about Devers needing to get going. Really the big 3 for the Giants, and Devers, Adames, and Chapman, who they're paying a total of $600 million. Those guys got to get going. OPS of 620 combined. That home run for Devers just the 10th between the 3 guys. Runner takes off from first as Adames fouls it off himself. Giants coming off winning 2 of 3 against the Pirates, and the best thing that happened in that series from their perspective is all 3 of those guys are showing signs of improvement. For Adames, 3 hits yesterday. First time that he had knocked in multiple runs in a game in a month. Ouch. Even with the pad there.
The hard plastic's in the middle portion of those pads, but it gets cotton and soft around the edges. Real good for Sasaki to get into the strike zone right here with the last 3 pitches. That's just a nasty splitter. When he gets a feel for that with that action, he's just got to throw it right down the middle. It's like a knuckleball almost. You want the hitter to start the bat when you got that kind of action.
Comes home with a 1-2, turns it back up with a fastball and gets his first strikeout of the game.
4 outs on the fastball, 2 hits on the non-fastballs. That's a little upside down for him. The fastball is the pitch he wants to improve on, and he has so far tonight.
And if he and the Dodgers get 7 Ks in this game, everybody gets that free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. 1-on-1 out here in the second. The hitter's Matt Chapman. Chapman went into yesterday's game in an unthinkable 1-for-30 slump, but doubled twice. Remember when the Dodgers saw the Giants a few weeks ago, we were talking about how Chapman wasn't hitting for power, but the average was up higher than it normally is. He says he feels like he chased the power numbers, and the average went away too. So he's trying to get back to a shorter, more efficient swing, and just trusting that the power will come. He's continued to play great defense at third. But when he combines that great defense with his usual pop, he's as valuable as anybody on this roster. And not just on this roster, his 2 years with San Francisco.
The batter is challenging the call of strike.
The National League WAR leaderboard, Ohtani, Lindor, and then Chapman. And he challenges his pitch. Powered by T-Mobile.
Ball's overturned. The pitch is the ball. San Francisco.
Yeah, and he wins that challenge.
Remaining.
So it's 3-0.
We don't usually have the full graphic from ABS where you got almost 2 inches missed. I think the ABS has made the umpires better. I really do. They've done an outstanding job, and I think with ABS, you don't want to be embarrassed. So I think it brought up a little bit of a percentage of concentration.
3-2. Good bite to that slider.
The velocity is up. That means the arm speed is up. That means if you're spinning the ball properly, it's going to be a sharp break.
Ramos off first with 1 away. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Chapman tries to lay off but can't. Strike 3. Got him with a firmer version of the splitter. Back-to-back Ks for Sasaki. So we've seen both that mid-80s one and now the 91 harder splitter.
And there's the one that looks like a strike, ends up a ball. That's an outstanding pitch. You think about the one that Devers hit out. That was up and just flat, but that's the one you're looking to throw.
2 outs. Harrison Bader, his first at bat in a month. They got Bader for his defense, and so they weren't overly concerned with the lack of offense early on, and then especially when they figured out that he was fighting through a hamstring injury the whole time. But he was 6 for his first 52 before they shut him down. And they get him back today. He hits 8th, starts in center field. Oh, he's just in there, and Freddie Freeman says, take a look.
Roki was very quick over there. If you're going to have a good move as a right-hander, you got to have fast feet, and then you don't want to take the ball out of your glove and really throw it with a long backswing. And Freddie might be right. Gets him on the elbow, and they're not going to challenge.
Sasaki was looking for what would have been the first pickoff of his major league career. Instead, goes back to work against Bader. Here's his 0-1 pitch. Bader swings and misses.
Roki's delivery for me is so much better when there's a man on base. It really calms down his back leg. I would love for that back leg to stay a little taller, but at least what he does with it is more consistent.
Three consecutive strikeouts to finish off this second inning. That gives up the home run to Devers, but then 3 Ks to finish it off.
MLB is partnering with Crisis Text Line to increase mental health awareness. Free 24/7 confidential support in English and Spanish. Text MLB to 741-741.
Will Smith starts his second for the Dodgers, takes a ball from Trevor McDonald. In a 1-0 game, the Giants on the board first on a Devers home run. The 25-year-old from Lucedale, Mississippi, Trevor McDonald, sinks one in for a strike. Town of 3,000 people that has produced 2 major league pitchers in the last few years. Justin Steele, all-star pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, also from Lucedale. There's an 11th round draft pick was McDonald. Parts of 3 years in AAA, and he's got a +5 ERA there. But he's come to the majors, and in that same time, 5 big league starts, 2-0 with a 144 and a 7-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Roller down to third. Chapman's got it. And Smith is the first out of the second. Up comes Max Muncy, and Range Rover Sport is engineered to win. Muncy facing off with these Giants that he has 26 home runs against in his career. Home run every 12 at-bats is the best all-time against San Francisco. Provided all the offense in yesterday's game. Nearly provided more. He got robbed of another extra base hit, but had the 2-run home run. He said this was an anger swing after he got robbed earlier. I'll just hit it where they can't catch it. His 10th of the year. Pops this one into shallow center field for Willie Adames. 2 up. Eventually 2 down. So now it's Andy Pages. He singled and walked yesterday, and he's top 5 in the league in average and runs batted in OPS. When you factor in the excellent center field defense, Pages is also tied for the major league lead in wins above replacement, just the overall value statistic, tied with Bobby Witt Jr. You know what I love is that he's gone into a slump and come out of it and recaptured what he was doing before the slump, and he did it like that.
Yeah, he did it very quickly, and those that listen to us often know that this season for elite players is long hot streaks and short cold streaks, and he looks like one of those. It's really understanding your foundation, how you're going to come to work and what you're going to do to get yourself ready, and knowing that it works and repeating it. Not giving up on theories and foundational principles that you have learned that make you your best. But when it goes a little south, you just bear down on those basics and get yourself ready. And he looks like that kind of guy that learned that about himself.
Coming off a week where he hit .474, 4 home runs, 3 of those came in 1 game, 8 knocked in over those 5 games.
It doesn't mean you're not a veteran that'll turn his front foot in if you're going to the Hall of Fame and you want to keep producing like Freddie Freeman. But it does mean a young player that has built his foundation of who he is and how to get it ready on a daily basis. And he has great examples on this team of watching guys go through routines every day, whether it's how they prepare their defense or how they prepare their arm or how they prepare their swings. They have some tremendous, consistent workers on this Dodger club.
And one thing Dave Roberts has praised with Andy Pages is through the years he's leaned on those guys and learned from them, but also back to your point about figuring out who he is. He knows who he is now. There isn't as much of just kind of puppy dog following around the bigger dogs. He's worked the count full. The payoff from McDonald breaks his bat. A bouncer up the middle to a rise. And a 1-2-3 second. Rookie Sasaki, for just the second time in his career, strikes out 3 in an inning, and already within 4 are the free Jumbo Jacks with the purchase of a large drink tomorrow. It is 1-0 San Francisco on a Devers home run. And it's the rookie catcher Jesus Rodriguez to lead off the third against Sasaki. Rodriguez came up last week and hit .353 over his first week with the team, capping that with a walk-off hit in the 12th inning yesterday. They got Rodriguez from the Yankees last year at the deadline when they traded away Camilo Doval. Yeah, just a pure all-around hitter who's hitting .330 in AAA, more walks than strikeouts. And they're going to lean on him and the young guys at catcher. They have traded Patrick Bailey to Cleveland. We were asking the question, or when we were in San Francisco, how do you reconcile the lack of offense that Bailey brought, you know, with everything he brings defensively? And you get it, you get the value that he was bringing defensively, but at an offense starving for any kind of offense, they just couldn't take it anymore, no matter how good the defense from Bailey. And so he's out and Rodriguez in. 2-2. They got another rookie in Daniel Susac, who was off to a good start and was starting to take at bats away from Bailey before he got hurt, but he's coming back from injury soon. And Buster Posey going to roll with the rookie catchers the way the Giants rolled with him on the way to the championship in 2010. Saki stumbles in his delivery there. Go back to the point you made last inning. He's so much more comfortable when there's men on base and he's working in those situations. That's a leadoff walk for Rodriguez. So walks the 9-hitter to open the third, and we get a word from Echo.
It's time to go yard. Echo, power on and on.
We're probably going to see the delivery change a little bit now that there's a man on first, and I really like when he wants to be quicker because there's a man over there that might steal because he has less flex in his back leg. And he just lifts and goes. And so a lot of, for me, his control issues are the fact that he has so many great moving parts, but he doesn't move them always consistently when there's no runner on. But he's much tighter and stronger when there's a man on first. And his spray pattern, I think, is much better.
Seems like it's an obvious change that he should do that all the time.
Yeah, it's almost like a hitter that's seeking power compared to a pitcher that's seeking power, and it's like, no, seek location and the power will be there. And I know the pitching coaches are working on this with him, and I know he is receptive to their ideas, but it's really hard to take it into competition when you think more is better, harder is better. It's not always that way.
And I would think, too, it's what made him, I'm sure he thinks, part of what his dominance was in Japan was that big delivery that led to the velocity. And so to give up on what got you here is probably not an easy thing mentally. Even with the league screaming at you that you might need to. Two and two on Jung Hoo Lee, who slapped the line drive on the first pitch of the ball game that was caught by Teoscar Hernandez. Here comes Sasaki, just missing with a heater. So we've seen 98 with it and 94 there.
Well, if you can throw 95 and above with a little less delivery, but you know where the ball's going, and you can throw 99 all the time.
Runner takes off. A swing and a miss for strike 3. The bat goes flying. And so does Rodriguez from first to steal second.
Let's take a look at this split screen. There's nobody on the left. Base is empty. Watch the back leg. The knee goes up, the knee goes back towards second, and now finally the knee goes forward. Now watch the one on the right, what the knee does. It's solid as a rock. And so that gives him command. And he knows exactly what his feet are going to do. And what I say to pitchers is, look, you stand on one leg for a living. Stand on your back leg when you kick your front, and then when you land, you stand on your front leg. You have to make those two things be consistent. And the way to make those two legs consistent is to understand your posture and understand your leg kick. As you build the momentum and the power into your back leg, you have to build it consistently with consistent movements. Then you have an idea where your body is in space and where the ball's going to go.
Rodriguez is second, 1 gone, 1 ball, no strikes on Luis Arraez. Thing is, he's not sacrificing velocity. He's still throwing 98 when he does that.
No, and the pitching coaches have told him, you know, we love this delivery when somebody's on. But for some reason, when nobody's on, he really can't get through his mind that all that extra doesn't help.
Arraez with a base hit into right. Rodriguez stopped at third.
But you know what? He's open to it. He's coachable. And the league is telling him to listen.
Number 10, Casey Schmidt.
A guy that's very low exit velocity from the bat hit that one squarely and hit it hard.
First and third for the Giants with 1 away is a word from Mark Pryor and a word from Carl's Jr.
What the cluck? The new Western Bacon Chicken Sandwich. Only at Carl's Jr.
El Sasaki would love to come up with a repeat of his start against St. Louis, where he gave up the home run to Jordan Walker. He gave up 3 runs in the 3rd inning, but nothing else in the other 5 innings. Retired 10 in a row to finish that outing. And even if you have to squint to see it, Dodgers say improvements with each outing, whether that's incorporating the new splitter or fighting through 6 innings last time for the first time.
I do see light at the end of the tunnel with him. There's just so much potential, and it's like he went from a 7-pitch first inning to full counts on 4 of the next 7 hitters. And it's like, but if he has the better delivery with men on, why isn't he effective? Well, it takes some time to feel the different deliveries instead of just having one delivery.
Casey Schmidt popped out of his hand and hit him, and now he's got to face Devers with the bases loaded. The Devers worked a long at bat and finished it off with a home run in the 2nd.
Here's the pitch sequence, and you can see when the ball is out of the zone, it's got some action, but it's too far away to get swung at. And then when he's in the zone, that's when Devers is attacking, and here it comes. Kind of a lazy split that he gets to. Devers showed good discipline of hacking at balls in the strike zone.
Big spot early in this game. Strike 1 with a fastball.
The pitch before the home run was ball 4, slightly outside, but it still was in the vicinity for a guy who's really aggressive. And then the 3-2 splitter that hung, he got him with it.
Walk, a single, and a hit batter to load the bases here for the Giants. 0-1 from Sasaki. Devers grounds it foul. Strike 2.
You hit a home run off me on a hanging splitter. I'm attacking you right now with my fastball because it's been one of my best pitches here tonight.
Here he comes, sticks with it, and fouls it off. We'll do it again. Up to 99 that time.
Will almost was able to hang on to this. Oh, just in the heel of the glove. Intershow to his right, Will's right. It's in the pocket.
7 career grand slams for Rafael Devers. Down 0-2. Reaches out, flips it in the air to right field. Not deep. Tucker's coming on. Not deep enough to bring home Rodriguez. And as good as a strikeout right there for Sasaki. 2 gone in the 3rd.
That was a great sequence. Really nice response to a tough situation. When he does go to the split, it was the good one. It looked like the fastball right down the middle, ended up way low and away. Weak contact, frees the runners.
That's Sasaki trying to make this an early turning point. Bases loaded for the Giants, 1 out. He gets Devers. Now 2 gone for Ramos. Good splitter for strike 1.
Nasty one, especially in an 0-0 count. Make it look like a strike, stay there, but have good depth.
Ramos is coming off 3 consecutive multi-hit games. Singled his first time against Sasaki. Takes one a little high here.
That's the type of pitch that when he throws it, if he wouldn't give away his height by collapsing his knee consistently and just stay a little taller, that ball would have some bite.
Ahead 1-2.
If you throw the split, you got to trust your catcher that he can block it, get it in the dirt. If you throw the slider, you got to start it as a strike, end up a ball wide. The fastball on a 1-2 count now, probably go up the ladder. You can throw any of those 3 pitches. You just got to execute it.
Sasaki fires. Tapper down to 3rd. Muncie's got it. Fires across the diamond himself. And somehow Sasaki gets out of this unscathed. Dodger Baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. A Rafael Devers home run, the difference in this game as we go to the bottom of the 3rd, and Teoscar Hernandez leads off. Hitting 8th today. It's the lowest that he's hit in the order in 6 years. Dave Roberts is saying before the game, we're obviously better when he's hitting 5th or 6th, but enough of a sample size here to this point. 35 games, 125 at-bats for Teoscar Hernandez, where Doc says, I'm willing to make these kinds of decisions. And how about that? Drop down in the order, bangs the double down the left field line. His first extra base hit in 16 games.
All kinds of emotional wake-up calls, right? Sometimes you got to shock the system. Sometimes the manager has to shock it for you. Teo has been trying, and it hasn't worked. Well, maybe Dave Roberts, some conversations and a little physical move down to the bottom of the order. Teo would be glad to wake up on time.
Yeah, and he's the tying run in scoring position as Haesung Kim comes up to the plate. Kim wins the game of survivor between him and Alex Freeland we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, with Mookie coming back. Punches a bouncer to a drawn-in Chapman, who's retired very quickly. And Dave Roberts is saying that was a very tough decision, very tough conversation to have with Alex Freeland. He said Alex, as we've said all along, has done everything that we asked of him. It's just Kim has been better. Back to the top in Ohtani. Grounded out, first pitch that he saw. And that ground out to first base on the first pitch of the ball game is a microcosm of what we've seen from Ohtani, where he's making more contact than he ever has. It's just the quality of that contact not as good. More ground balls, not as many line drives. Using the middle of the field less than ever. Chases a changeup right here, and it's 0-2.
Be nice to see this guy break out in a big way. But more importantly for me is for him to know he's found it, that something has clicked.
It was weird today to watch him take BP, where normally it's this great show, everybody's jaws dropping, and he would still hit the ball 500 feet, but it was like once every 8 to 10 swings that it would happen.
His first few rounds, he actually had his bat on his shoulder. He wasn't in his normal stance, so you knew he was looking at it as kind of a drill to feel something different. One of the crazy things I used to do with some pitchers is I would have, if they were right-handed, I would have them throw left-handed for about 10 pitches. They would go, this is impossible. I'm like, okay, now go back to your normal hand. And their brain would be clear. It's like, oh, it's so easy. Well, why was I overthinking this? I'd even do it myself. Be like, I can't find it. Here we go with some of the stuff he did earlier. That one went a long way. The balls that went to the opposite field, he was backspinning and hitting them good. It was the balls to the pull side that were all top spinned and weren't doing what he wanted. Like that.
Twice tonight, he's bounced out to the right side. Up to third goes Hernandez, 2 out. And in his first game back, Mookie Betts finds himself with a spot to tie this game up right here. Man at third, 2 away. Fly to center field his first time. And Mookie got hurt right after he finally started to feel good about his swing early on this year, because it was not feeling great coming out of spring training. And the first game of that road trip in D.C. had 4 balls 100 miles per hour or above. He hit a home run. And he said pretty much had to start over from there, missing more than a month. The swing feels good, but from a strength standpoint, pretty much starting over. On this 0-1 from McDonald, he fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Said I couldn't risk hurting the oblique in the weight room, so it's kind of backwards from what you would normally do in a rehab, where you're building up strength and then you're going out and doing the baseball activities. With this, the first thing he did was the baseball activities, and he's just now getting back into strengthening his whole body. Just outside, and it's 1-2. The secret to that big day, secret to the good feeling, he said right before he got hurt, was that he had changed bats. He went back to a heavier bat that he had used in past years, and everything clicked for him, so he's going with that model. Just downstairs, 2-2.
Teo was the first leadoff hitter the Dodgers have gotten on in a while. They've only had one other in these last 2 games.
See if Betts can take advantage of it with 2 out, a 2-2 pitch. Taken high, and it's gone from 0-2 to 3-2 with a couple of close takes. Freeman waits on deck. The payoff to Mookie Betts. We'll do it again. Got him this time. Dodgers unable to take advantage of the leadoff double from Hernandez. Well, our thoughts and prayers are with the family of Rene Cardenas, the legendary Spanish language broadcaster who mentored Jaime Jarrín back in the late 1950s in the Spanish language booth, but passed away at the age of 96. Hiroki Sasaki goes back to work. Strike 1 on Willy Adames.
I had many years with Rene, and he was quite a gentleman, and he was a great friend to Jaime and to all the Dodger fans.
Smack the other way. Tucker runs back on it. Onto the track, over the shoulder. He's got it. And Adames is the first out of the 4th. All right, so let's see if Hiroki Sasaki can build off of getting off of the hook there in the 3rd inning. Bases loaded, 1 out against him, and didn't give anything up.
I'm really looking forward to him just continuing to refine his mechanics, and if he can move his body consistently, we know what the arm can do.
One out in the 4th inning. Matt Chapman's the hitter. Strike one with a fastball. It's a part of the order that Sasaki carved through his first time. 3 straight Ks against Adames, Chapman, and Bader. Dave Roberts has said he's counting on what he saw from Sasaki that last year, and that is that he's not going to throw in the towel when things get tough. He's not going to run from challenges. They asked him to work out of the bullpen, come back, and give that a try for the first time in his career. He did it happily and thrived in that role in the biggest spot.
With his pitch execution right now, he will do best against aggressive hitters. If the hitters are patient, he's going to have to land more of his pitches for strikes in quality areas.
And so by that logic, this is a good matchup for him. It's an aggressive Giants lineup. A lot of swings, a lot of contact. And this Giants order, 1-2 to Chapman. Taken for strike 3, and Sasaki struck him out both times tonight. He's got 5 total.
This is a splitter that looks like a high fastball at first, but then drops in the zone. Looks like it's going to be up by his shoulders, but then the spin takes over and puts it perfectly.
One of the 5 Ks in this game, just 1 shy of his season high. 2 up, 2 down in the 4th. Up comes Harrison Bader. Bader, strikeout victim his first time. And in a lineup full of aggressive guys, nobody more aggressive than Bader. Inside corner, 1-1. Bader in his 10th season, 7th different team that he's played for. The Twins to the Phillies at the deadline last year. It's his best offensive year last year, in addition to his Gold Glove defense. The Giants signed him to a 2-year contract, loving the defense, loving the edge that he brings. Harrison's from New York City, and he says any of the edge that he may have comes from growing up there. On a 2-1 from Sasaki, swings over the top of a splitter that just nosedived, and it's 2-2. Sasaki to Bader. On the ground to second for Kim. And a 1-2-3-4. See if the offense can get going in a 1-0 game.
Join the Dodgers on Wednesday for World Champion Gold Jersey Night. The first 40,000 fans will score an exclusive gold jersey. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Oh, Trevor McDonald so far doing it again for the Giants. He gets strike 1 on Freddie Freeman. 10 innings this season in the big leagues, just 1 run on 4 hits allowed by McDonald. Made his debut on the final day of the 2024 season, and then spent pretty much all of last year in AAA. Did not pitch particularly well. Came up for the final 2 weeks and was great, including 7 innings here at Dodger Stadium where he gave up just 1 run. Or at least into the 7th inning, gave up just 1 run. So he's shown that he can do it anytime he comes up. Just how do you explain dominating here? And I know that AAA, Pacific Coast League, is a really good hitters league, but it's not even close.
It really is amazing, the difference in the statistics. And my first question would be, does he have a concentration issue that he needs the triple-decker stadium and 30 to 50,000 people and adrenaline and pressure compared to what am I doing here in AAA? Well, what are you doing is probably what the scouts are saying compared to, hey, get it done here and you'll get called up.
Here's his 2-2 to Freeman, and it's grounded foul.
And the stuff is sharp. It comes out of his hand pretty good. He's got a little bit of a herky-jerky motion, so there's a little bit of deception to him. Yes, he's going to have to locate, but the thing he has to avoid, which he has at the big league level, is walking people.
He's got a 24 to 3 strikeout to walk ratio in the majors. Tony Vitello was raving about how competitive he is. He said it's nice to have a guy, especially the way this season has gone, they feel like already they can bet on. He said you rest easy at night when you know a guy as competitive as him is going. Freeman's 2 for 2. 2 of the 3 Dodger hits belong to the first baseman.
3-2 pitch, strength against strength. The sinker's up a little bit, and Freddie makes him pay. He's got some decent tailing action. It is on the outside corner, but Freddie just puts a sweet swing on it. With the ball elevated slightly like that, you're not going to hit it on the ground very often if you got your good swing.
Second inning in a row, the Dodgers have had the leadoff man on. Up comes Kyle Tucker. Ground out his first time. That's back-to-back base hits to open the 4th. First time they've had multiple base runners in an inning against McDonald.
It's only third time in 2 games that they've gotten a leadoff hitter on, and now they back it up with a hit. They were 0 for 4 with men on until that swing.
First and second, nobody out. Will Smith. It's been not talked about as much because of Ohtani's struggles at the top of the order, but Will Smith's OPS is down 200 points from where it was last year. Some bad luck sprinkled in there. Hasn't pulled the ball with authority as much as he usually does. That's not for everybody, but for him, when he's his best, he's lifting the ball to the pull side.
Well, he's always been excellent at hitting the inside pitch and not pulling it foul. He's got a little shorter arms for his body type than most people, so it makes it a little easier to pull his hands in. And he's always been very stable with his swing and his balance. An outstanding golfer that really understands posture and the rhythm of a golf swing, and he brings it into his baseball swing.
He's got Freeman at second, Tucker at first. 2-1 pitch. Checks his swing, ball 3. So because he's so good pulling the ball, pitchers tend to try and stay away. It's one thing to try to stay away. You've got to execute that. He's going to hurt you if you don't. And Robert Van Scoyoc was saying today it feels like he's been pitched particularly well. Guys hitting their spots when trying to stay away from him. Makes it hard to pull it. Has one left over the plate here and scorches it to center field. A base hit to load him up. 3 consecutive singles to start the 4th for the Dodgers.
Here we go. Dodger lineup looking like it's a gauntlet to go through. And this is down the middle, starts on the outer half. He does a nice job, gets a little off the end of the bat, and you're kind of glad because it falls short of the center fielder.
And you got the right guy coming up here with the bases loaded. As hot as he's been, and against the Giants, you always like Max Muncy at the plate. I was talking to Nomar today before the game, and he said that this is the best that he thinks he's ever seen Max Muncy look.
Well, we know that Max feels good about the swing. We know that he's getting a lot of reps because he's healthy. We know that the health is at a place where everything is being able to be worked through the zone exactly the way he wants it. So, yeah. And isn't every player in the best shape they've ever been when they come out of spring training?
Yeah. Nomar said he said to Max, hey, like, you look awesome. I told him the same thing he told me, best I've ever seen him. Max said, I'm glad to hear you say that because I feel like I should be hitting 800 and I'm not. So and Nomar said to him, stay right where you are.
It's a guy who almost hit 400 in the big leagues. I'd listen to him.
Dodgers down a run, but the bases loaded, nobody out in the fourth. First pitch to Max Muncy is taken outside, ball one. Happy to have another shot here with the bases loaded. We were talking about him getting robbed yesterday in this situation. Redemption shot. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball right side and through. Freeman's in to score. They stop Tucker station to station in a tie ball game. 4 straight hits in the fourth. 1-1.
Well, yesterday he got robbed by a great play by White in right field. This brought on an angry swing in his next at bat where he hit the home run. But this play with bases loaded should have made it 4-3. Dodgers down by 1. Instead, the rally was killed. And then the next swing, this base hit wasn't the next swing, but it's a swing tonight, and this finds the hole. 2-hopper, station to station, as there's no outs.
Pages, ball one. Eli White, by the way, placed on the concussion list today after that tremendous catch. El Pages, one of the league leaders in RBIs because he's second with runners in scoring position, above 400. Backs up, misses in, and a challenge here from the rookie catcher Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Powered by T-Mobile. It's a big call right here. They're actually going to say that it was a check swing, so no challenge. He went around, so 1 ball, 1 strike. McDonald comes back home. Pages chases, strike 2.
Just look at the pitch before, and they call it a swing. So even though he's challenging the call behind the plate, don't worry about the challenge.
First base umpire James Jean saying, "I got it. That's your strike."
Andy came out of his game right there trying to pick up some ribeye steaks out there. That was not a swing and a pitch that he normally goes for.
35 ribeye steaks to lead the club. It's a lot of marbling. Reaches out, gets his bat on it, down the line, foul. Dodger offense that had just 2 hits yesterday. 4 in a row here in the 4th inning. And now the guy that's been their best hitter this year at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Pages. McDonald deals. Pages breaks his bat on a bounce to short. Adames to second. Water rise to first. A double play. 6-4-3. Dodgers take the lead though as Tucker comes in to score.
You push the run across, you get no ribeye steak, but it'll taste a little bit like a fillet when you get the run across and take the lead. This Dodger offense has struggled a little bit, so they're glad to kind of get out of the doldrums here in this inning.
Speaking of getting out of the doldrums, Performance Spotlight, sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers. Tasker Hernandez took away what might have been an extra base hit to open the game and then got one of his own his first time up. And he's got a runner at third with 2 out here.
Teo brings the energy every day, but the energy he'll bring if he gets another hit here will feel a lot more natural than something that is more serving to his teammates.
Takes the ball, 2-0. That double is his first extra base hit since the first game against the Giants in San Francisco, April 21st. Looking for his first home run since a week before that. The 2-0 pitch to him. Sinks back in, 2-1. Challenge from Hernandez. Powered by T-Mobile. And it was outside. Ball 3.
Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
Bring you a little confidence as a hitter.
It's a rare walk from McDonald. Teoscar Hernandez on base both times today, has been on base 6 of 9 times up on this homestand. And now a word from Jack in the Box.
Get my new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal for a chance to win $75,000. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Kim looking for a little redemption right here, grinding out to the left side when a man on second and no out. That was a wasted at bat. Try and redeem it right here with a base hit.
Takes a ball. I asked Song today, how nervous were you with Mookie coming back? And he said, I was pretty nervous. And said he got the news like everybody else did, just seeing it filter through, you know, internet. And I said, what did you think? And he said, I was really surprised. I thought I was going to go down. So some new life for him here. First and third, 2 out. Grounds it foul, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think anybody in that situation, and maybe all 2 or 3 guys that were on the bubble, you always kind of think I'm the one, because you're protecting yourself from the disappointment, almost like you've already committed to I'm the one going down. And then when you get the good news, you get the adrenaline instead of the depression.
The biggest improvement for Kim so far in year 2 has been what he's done in these 2 strike counts. He's dropped his strikeout rate by 10%, 30%, which is not good, to 20%, which is better than league average. Scott Smith at third, Hernandez at first. The 1-2 from Trevor McDonald. 2-2. Ohtani on deck. Four singles and a walk in the inning. 2 runs have scored. 2-2 to Kim. He can't lay off a back foot breaking ball, and that's the inning. But the Dodgers turn it around and take the lead to the 5th. Dodger Baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. And by Hawaiian Airlines. Hawaii starts here. Dodgers have a 2-1 lead. Just a solo shot for Rafael Devers. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, and the 9-hitter Rodriguez takes a ball from Sasaki. Sasaki 5 strikeouts in this game, 1 shy of a season high. Walked Rodriguez his first time. Ball and a strike here.
He's gotten the Giants to chase. He's thrown about 38 pitches out of the zone and gotten 14 chases.
Got one there. Backhand Muncy covers a lot of ground just to get there and fires across to get Rodriguez.
Well done. The 1-hop throw to first base was invented by Davey Concepcion when he was a Cincinnati Reds playing on the AstroTurf. Now it is a staple in the big leagues.
One of the subtleties of the Big Red Machine. It's known for bashing baseballs, but more to it than that. Lee at the top of the order takes a first pitch slider for a strike. Lee's 0 for 2 today, lined out his first time and struck out. And very streaky this year has Lee. Good bat to ball guy, so you don't normally associate that with streakiness. Where that can come, though, is that when you're a bat to ball guy that doesn't hit it particularly hard, you can be at the mercy of the whims of balls in play luck. Because when you're not hitting it particularly hard, with defenses the way they are these days, a lot of it is you just got to have the coin flip land right for you. On a 1-2 pitch. Taps it up the middle. Mookie Betts is there. 2 out. Mookie Betts here in the 5th inning puts his glove to use for the first time in his first game back.
We know he is no longer a position change guy. He was in the hunt for a Gold Glove last year.
Back to the top and a rise. It was 1 for 2.
Roki is bumping up against 70% strikes. Throwing it in the zone more and getting them to chase. In the zone a little over 50% and getting a lot of chases from an aggressive team in the Giants.
(2-0) to a rise. Fouled off. 2-1.
You've got 2 guys at the top of this order that need to hit it where they ain't. Not on the high end of exit velocity.
Be Lee and a rise. The Giants as a team are hitting for a decently high average. Just haven't had the pop, haven't had the walks.
Yeah, their on base percentage compared to their average, you go, whoa. They are swinging at everything.
(3-1) pitch. A rise, sends one in the air to left center field. Pages and Hernandez coming together. It's Tasker Hernandez, and we're halfway home in Los Angeles with the Dodgers in front 2-1.
Night on May 25th, presented by Toyo Tires. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Top of Dave Roberts' order coming up here in the bottom of the 5th inning with a 2-1 lead. Ohtani leads off and fouls off the first pitch changeup from McDonald. Was twice grounded out to the right side tonight. Back-to-back changeups. How about that? 3 in a row.
Yeah, they're trying to get him to roll over. That's been his pattern. So make Shohei make the biggest adjustment.
Four in a row, and he strikes him out.
It is really hard to swing your way out of a slump, especially when you don't get strikes, and that's what it's starting to look like with Shohei. He wants to hit his way out of this, but pitchers are not giving him anything to hit.
Now, McDonald threw 3 changeups total in his 7 innings against the Padres last week. 4 in a row to Shohei Ohtani right there. Here's Betts taking a 5th straight change. So it's not just Shohei. McDonald mixing things up after he was 90%, over 90% sinker slider against San Diego. There's one of those 2, but it misses. Ball 2.
Third time around the order, trying to show him a different look.
Betts lines it into center field. Bader can't get there. Mookie's got his first hit coming back.
This is nice. This ball is away. It's down. He stays on it. He gets it in the air. He covers the whole strike zone. Really well done. Catches his first grounder at shortstop. Gets his first hit on his way back.
He's having to learn the new moves. It's like, oh, wait, nope, can't do that one yet. Oblique still working way back. You mean you want me to karate kick? Like kick straight up in the air? Freeman, who is 2 for 2 today. Dodgers 2 runs on 7 hits after they managed just 2 hits yesterday.
This is the portion of the Dodger lineup that tonight is swinging the bat the best. These next 4 hitters have looked really good.
And maybe the domino effect of Mookie Betts coming back into the 2 spot. Everybody else slides down, and 2 through 6 in the order all have hits.
Yeah, this is a challenging part of the order right now, the way they're swinging the bat tonight. This is the beginning of the guys that last inning got 4 hits in a row, and they weren't flukes. That's the kind of take we needed Shohei to have. Ball down there by your ankles, not trying to hit it just to hit it, but to take it.
With Shohei, do you think it'll be better takes and you'll say, this looks better, looks like he's seen it better? Or with him, is it going to be one swing where you're like, oh my gosh?
Wow. He can have an oh my gosh swing and still be in a slump. So I think I'd like to see the good takes. And for the takes to be where he was wanting to swing, but disengaged. Not just taking because I think the pitcher's going to throw me a ball, which we see when he's hot, right? He's been up there sometimes just kind of in a pose like, I know he's not going to throw me a strike, and he's almost undoing his shin guard before the pitch is finished. You want to see him with the action of starting the bat and loading and then taking.
Freddie Freeman on 3-1. Grounds on right side. Ariza's only play is at first. 2 out as Betts moves into scoring position. Yeah, because even today in that batting practice session, he catches up with his good buddy Willie Adames right there from their days in the American League East. But that BP session, even when he's struggling and fouling balls into the cage and hitting soft grounders, he was still having a few where he would muscle it a mile and get the oohs and the ahs.
Yep. He's the kind of guy who can mishit it out of the park. But that's not the swing that's going to get him back.
Tucker was singled and scored last inning. That's his second, 2 out. And the Dodgers making McDonald work in this game. He went 7 innings on this number of pitches against the Padres last week. Yet to get through 5. Already more pitches than he threw against San Diego over those 7. Two and 0.
Sasaki with 81 pitches got a chance to complete 6 under 100. That would be an accomplishment. Where the arrow is kind of pointing up as far as what he's learning and doing.
Six innings against St. Louis last week, was on 104 pitches. It's kind of become the standard for this pitching staff. I know last week or so not as much, but 6+ innings, 2/3 of their starts this year. Four-pitch walk. Tucker's on, and we get a word from Morongo.
Midland live July 18th. Get tickets now. Morongo.
I have to double check, but going into the Astros series, the Dodgers' average length of start, year-to-year improvement last year to this year is the biggest year-to-year jump in franchise history, and the 7th largest for any team year-to-year in baseball history. Inside corner for a strike on Will Smith.
Well, this is a stretch of They're in the middle of a stretch of 13 games in a row without an off day, so those starters going deep into the game really can help the bullpen.
How about what Robleski did yesterday? 7 runs, 8 2/3. You're going to see that too often.
Well, it's been a long time since a pitcher for the Dodgers has done that. But you know what? He was a warrior. And a lot of it, he lost sleep over a play that he made on a comebacker that could have got him out of a tough jam. Threw the ball away, didn't get a double play. And so the inning continued and more runs came in.
2 on, 2 out. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Smith. He's down swinging. That changeup working for McDonald tonight. 5 innings in the books. The Dodgers by a run. Much do a whole this date in history series on this guy alone, Sandy Koufax. And on this date in 1963, he no-hit the San Francisco Giants, defending National League champion Giants team that had 3 future Hall of Famers in there: Mays, McCovey, Cepeda, and in front of what was then a record crowd in Dodger Stadium's second year. A no-hitter. Ball 1 from Sasaki on Casey Schmidt. You saw on the baseball, he had number 2 written on there. He'd need a couple more of those. He'd throw a no-hitter 4 consecutive years. Of course, capping it off with a perfect game. The defining thing of that decade for Dodger baseball, their pitching. The pitching and just enough offense. And ball 1 strike on Schmidt. Johnny Padres with Koufax and then Don Drysdale. Don Sutton towards the back end of that. Ground ball towards the middle and through, and a leadoff hit for Casey Schmidt. That's the first base runner for the Giants, and Schmidt was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning.
We've applauded Rookie's fastball tonight, and that's the 21st swing against it. It's only the 2nd hit. They're 2 for 8 on the fastball. But the one thing about the fastball tonight, they're not swinging and missing at it. They're swinging and missing at the splitter and the slider.
Devers, whose home run is accounted for the Giants scoring. It is a fastball and it's away. And with that, the bullpen begins to move. 85 pitches for Sasaki. Nobody out here in the 6th inning. It's Blake Trinan out there. Sasaki's 1-0 is off the end of the bat and floating into left center field for a hit from Devers. Schmidt going to 3rd. Throw from Pages offline. Devers will take 2nd. Go ahead run in scoring position with nobody out.
We're probably going to get a visit here after this, since the bullpen was just starting to warm and all of a sudden the inning is getting out of hand. So Blake will be told to hustle it up, and maybe even Mark Pryor will get somebody else up too. Looks like they're not going to visit with him on the phone. Go with it for right now.
So 2nd and 3rd here, nobody out. The hitter's Elliot Ramos. Sasaki trying to got a challenge coming here, but pull an escape as he did back in the 3rd. It's ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile, and just barely brushed the edge of the zone, so strike 1.
Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
Back in the 3rd inning, Giants had bases loaded with 1 out, could not score. Here's 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Ramos, who has 7 hits his last 4 games. Swings and misses, and it's 0-2.
Rookie knows, Will knows that the fastball has not gotten many swings and misses, and he needs a strikeout. So you pretty much can default to a splitter in the dirt right here if you can execute it.
There's a splitter that popped a little bit.
Yeah, you see Will's body language and glove, the target down in the dirt. And sometimes when you go for a better one, it's worse. You just got to throw another good one.
The 1-2. Back to the fastball.
You're pitching out there right now, the difference between a good outing and an outing you want to forget. A lot of good things have happened to move forward, but you want to try and finish it off.
Grounded past the bag, and the Giants will take the lead. Splitter was up, and Ramos didn't miss it. 2-run double, 3-2 San Francisco.
It's like real estate. It's all about location, location, and location. And this one's up. The same altitude that Devers' home run burned him with. When it's down, it's really good. And when it's up, the big league hitter makes him pay.
And so Sasaki, who had retired 8 in a row coming into this 6th inning and had realistic hopes of getting through 6, gives up 3 straight hits and doesn't record an out in the 6th. He'll leave for the Giants ahead 3-2. So Sasaki, 5 innings, 3 runs. The runner at second, his responsibility. Just couldn't quite get to the finish line here to put a cap on what would have been a really good outing. And now the call to the bullpen is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. It's Blake Trinan with a runner at second and nobody out. The hitter is Willy Adames. Went 0 for 2 against Sasaki. Yeah, it takes a first pitch sweeper that misses. Trinan was saying the other day that he just feels like every year his sweeper, his slider is different. He's trying to get a hang of how to make it move the way he wants it to. Hammered in the air, center field. Pages back onto the track. He's got Driscoll in room. Ramos to third, 1 away.
Plenty of range for Andy. Ball's not going to leave the yard. He runs a good route and makes it pretty routine.
And now the infield's going to come in. A 1-run game with Ramos 90 feet away and Matt Chapman up. Chapman, for one, happy to have Roki Sasaki out of there. Struck out both times against Sasaki. Although lately it hasn't mattered who the pitcher is. Chapman has really been searching for it. Yesterday notwithstanding. He's 3 for his last 37 is Chapman. On this 1-0 from Trinan. Swings and misses. Had a sweeper that had healthy movement to it. Evens the count up 1-1.
You know, pitch 1 was kind of a ball out of hand. Pitch 2 is a strike to a good location.
Strike 2. Lays off. Count evens 2-2. The bullpen for the Dodgers lately, probably their biggest strength. 1.30 ERA the last 14 games. Second in that time, 4th overall. Remember, this is a pen that last year was 21st in the majors. 2-2 to Chapman. Sharp grounder to a drawn-in Betts. Comes home and they've got Ramos. 2 gone in the 6th.
The throw doesn't need to be accurate when it's hit that hard and you have a quick release. Well, Mookie knows, with some fast footwork, gets it to Will as soon as possible. Will's got plenty of time to find the tag.
So the drawn in infield works. 2 away in the 6th inning. Harrison Bader goes up. Bader 0 for 2 in his first game off of the injured list. And now 6 for 54. Swings through a fastball. Trinan 37 years old, 6th year in Dodger blue. Always be remembered for what he did, especially in the 2024 postseason and the World Series where they leaned on him. Long wait and an 0-1. Top to third. Muncy staggers. I think that ball was in the lights for him. He was able to steady, catch it, throw him out in the top of the 6th. Giants, though, take the lead 3-2. World champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza Parlor, serving up handcrafted pizza, crispy fried chicken, and famous Mojo potatoes since 1954. Dodgers playing from behind again as Max Muncy leads off the last of the 6th against Trevor McDonald. Muncy's 1 for 2 today, knocked in a run in the 4th inning. That's when the Dodgers got both runs. Here's that RBI.
Omar Garcia-Parra says don't change a thing. Max doesn't. He rips it through the hole.
Down 1-2. Flies one the other way. Ramos is going back. He's running out of room, and it's gone. It's tied. Muncy does it again against San Francisco. What a game he's having. What he's done on defense. Started the scoring with the RBI single and now hits his team-leading 11th home run to tie it.
Baseball's fun, but it's real fun when you're swinging it like Max Muncy and playing D. And lately, he's getting used to those handshakes. Back-to-back home runs in back-to-back games. I'll tell you what, feeling good. First time this year he's had home runs in back-to-back games.
Sasaki smiling off of the hook. Andy Pages bounces one towards the middle to a charging Willie Adames for the first out of the 6th. And another look at Muncy's 11th home run this year.
Oppo power with backspin. He knew it. You don't see many left-handed hitters stare down the fly ball, stay in the box, and know they got it all.
Hayes breathing down EK's neck. Dodger Stadium home runs. 3 away from EK. Ball on Tasker Hernandez. We were talking earlier about Nomar saying that it's the best he thinks Muncy has looked. He talked about studying the ball flight. He said he's watching Max in the games and he loves it. And then he comes and watches him in BP. And it validates everything he's seeing on TV when he can stand there and see that. You mentioned backspin. Said it's one thing, Nomar is saying this, to slice a home run out or to muscle the ball, hook it into right field. But when you're backspinning it the other way and it's like it's rising still as it goes out, that's when you know that the swing path, Nomar said, is perfect.
Yep, that one was perfect. I think did not slice at all. It was left center, and it stayed left center the whole way.
3-0 swing. Hernandez continues what has been a perfect night. 2 for 2 with a walk.
Don't move him out of the 8-hole.
Giants bullpen's been going. Matt Gage ready down there. And here comes Tony Vitello. That's going to do it for Trevor McDonald. Another good impression that he makes, though. Limited chances in the major leagues, but just about every time he's been given one, he's at least given the Giants a chance. So Vitello takes it from him, gets the bullpen going. Max Muncy with his 27th home run against the Giants. Back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. Dodgers have tied the game. The bullpens both going to work. Matt Gage comes out of the Giants pen, and Miguel Rojas pinch hits for Ha-Seong Kim. The lefty fires, and Rojas takes a strike.
Batter challenging the call of strike.
And not waiting around, already a challenge from Rojas. Powered by T-Mobile. There was a strike though, so the Dodgers down to one challenge.
One challenge remaining.
Matt Gage has not given up an earned run in his last 10 games. You saw his ERA third in the National League with a 1.13. Rocket foul. One of the biggest surprises for the Giants, and really of any team this year, when you're looking at the career backstory. Gage was a 10th round draft pick of the Giants 12 years ago. He's gone to 7 other organizations before coming back to San Francisco and finally thriving. He's with the Dodgers for a short time in 2024. Joined the Giants last year, and for the first time got to the majors with them 11 years after they drafted him.
Gage, Wynn, and Killian are their best 3 relievers, and that are their winning pieces that have done a nice job for them. One thing the Giants are going to worry about those 3 guys is their appearances are way up there.
Runner takes off, and it's fouled off. And overall, the bullpen numbers are pretty good for the Giants, but a bit misleading because they have given up some huge runs. Runs they have given up have typically come at the worst time.
When the bullpen's given up runs this year, it usually has some walks in there. And they're really good statistics when they don't walk somebody. When they walk 1 or 2, they are on the losing end usually.
Made multiple moves for that bullpen yesterday as part of a week plus where Buster Posey has flipped this roster over. We talked about the trade of Patrick Bailey, bringing up the rookie catcher in Rodriguez. They brought up their top prospect in Bryce Eldridge, who's not in the lineup today. And a handful of new relievers as well going to get chances. There's a spinner off the end of the bat, hooked to second. A rise will get Rojas. Go ahead, run into scoring position. And Ohtani to the plate. Go for 3 today. Flies one down the left field line. Ramos a long way to go. Won't get there, and it's foul.
Just foul. Shohei became a little bit of an observer and then decided that one might fall in. I better get going.
One of the oddities of this season, reverse splits for Ohtani, above 300 against lefties. Saw Gage a couple times in San Francisco in April. Gage got him both times. On an 0-1 pitch. Takes outside, 1-1. Back and forth this game has gone. Giants scored first. Dodgers then took a 2-1 lead. Giants retook the lead 3-2, but the Dodgers have tied it on Muncy's home run here in the 6th. Ohtani is hitting just 200 with men in scoring position this year. On a 1-1 pitch. Hits it hard, but foul. Different pitcher, but same approach. Another changeup. Saw a bunch of those. In fact, the last time that he was up against Trevor McDonald, nothing but changeups.
I think Shohei's got to tip his hat if the guy throws a fastball. He's going to try and get him out with a breaking ball away. Gage is.
Goes fastball, and third ground ball to second tonight. That ends the inning, but the Dodgers have tied it on a Max Muncy home run.
Minutes for Star Wars night on May 14th. Purchase a special ticket pack and receive an exclusive Grogo bobblehead. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. I'm glad the pronunciation was on that read.
And Grogu.
Grogu?
Grogu.
Thank you. I should have had you read it.
Alex Vesia.
I'm not going to say who was saying something in my ear. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus.
Did you get the wrong? You had the right pronunciation on the screen, and the wrong one in your ear.
I had no pronunciation, so somebody was helping me.
Vesia, 16 games this year. 15 zeros put up out of those 16 games. Faces 9-1-2 in the Giants order here. Jesus Rodriguez leads off. Takes the ball. It's 1-1. Opponents 4 for 43 against Vesia this year. Change up, puts them ahead 1-2. Got him with the fastball.
It's a location that's been working a long time for Alex. That optical illusion fastball.
So many subtle things being a baseball fan that's enjoyable. One of them is having a reliever that's with you for years. Alex has been here for 5 seasons now, 6 seasons now. As many appearances as anybody in the big leagues in that time. Lead with a base hit to right. But to have that sure thing year after year, Alex Vesia has turned into that for them.
Second baseman number 1, Luis Arraez.
He's in for such a short time, so it's hard for people to realize how hard he works to be this good this quickly all the time. You know, there's very little rope for relievers, and when you are this consistent and this good, it's amazing the work that he puts in to be consistent and be executing every time in there.
I don't think the jersey appropriately does justice to how big he is.
Yeah.
Weight room monster. It's one of his favorite places. 1 ball, 1 strike on a rise, always has been, and then he found some normalcy there, found a haven there with all the heartbreak that Alex went through last fall. Before he could get back to baseball, that's where he could go to clear his mind. So spent even more time than usual getting bulked up in the gym. Comes home with a 1-1 pitch, misses high to a rise, ball 2.
Had a little trick there with a little delay, hanging his kick leg in the air.
Slider for a strike. He's not given up a single hit on that pitch this year.
And it's not like it's a rarity for him to throw it. He's using it whenever he needs it.
Here's his 2-2.
Pre-pitch clock, we were used to him kind of walking around the mound and really spending time. He has a little trick when he gives up a foul ball. He goes back behind the mound and gets a little bit of his walking in before this clock can start, where he receives the ball back behind the mound. instead of staying in the front mound and receiving a ball back from the umpire or his catcher right away, he takes the walk around the half circle of the mound to get to the back to expend some energy and to lock in, and then receives the ball when the clock can start.
Tries again against Arise. Here's his 2-2. Up the middle, base hit center field. Go ahead, run into scoring position. Really, the only time we've seen Alex struggle for a long time was that first season with the pitch clock, where he couldn't make the adjustment at first.
Well, it's a cardio workout too. I mean, you're pitching not only to a clock, but to a shorter time when your cardiovascular and your breathing has to change. And he is a very heavy breather when he gets out there. He is pumping, pumping, pumping.
Will Klein gets loose. First and second, one away. Casey Schmidt, who's been the Giants' top hitter this year. Below average hitter his first few seasons. OPS up above 800 this year. For a guy who in the winter is thinking, I may finally be a starter. I may finally have an everyday job at second. Well, then they go get a Rise. And they got Devers at first base. Eldridge, their top prospect to first baseman. But even with those things, Schmidt has found his way in there just about every day. Playing all over the place to keep his bat in the lineup. Second base and third base naturally, but adding first. DHing some. He's at first base tonight. He's got Lee at second, Arise at first. The 1-1 from Alex Vesia. Schmidt swings and misses. 1-2.
Mixing in the changeup now.
Tie game in the seventh. Another 1-2 pitch from Alex Vesia. Goes up to get the high fastball. Lines it to left center field. Hernandez slides but can't get it. Lee had to make sure, so he stops at third.
What a great play out there in left field. He takes the risk to try and catch it, and then is able still to block it on one hop and keep it in his glove. Well done, Teo. That hesitation and Teo giving it all out and blocking that ball in his glove kept him from scoring.
Mark Pryor for a visit, and now word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is sponsored in part by your Southern California Nissan dealers.
Second time tonight, Rafael Devers has come to the plate with the bases loaded. 2 for 3. The one out that he made was in that bases loaded chance back in the third. He's got a home run. He's got a single. He's scored twice. Based on what you've seen from Devers so far tonight, how are you attacking him?
I'm sitting here. I do not want to throw him a first pitch strike. I want to throw him a slider low and away. I want it to look like a fastball, end up a ball, because I think with his aggressiveness, he would bite at it.
It's the part of the order that's gotten it done for San Francisco. Devers and then Ramos, 4 hits together. Out of their 9 tonight. Bases loaded, 1 out in a tie game. First pitch. Outside corner for a strike.
Slider. You probably wanted a little lower, but they got it. Glad it stayed in the strike zone since he took it right on the edge. If you throw it again, make it a better one.
High with a fastball. The breaking balls throughout Devers' career he has mashed. He's been one of the best breaking ball hitters out there, but this year that's where the biggest drop off has been. 3 straight singles to load the bases. Vesia to Devers with the 1-1 pitch. Breaks it again, misses away, ball 2. 3 pitches, no swings yet from the usually very aggressive Devers. Ramos waits on deck. Devers waits on a 2-1. Ball 3 and nowhere to put him.
So close to a really good pitch, just pulled it a little bit.
Swing and a miss. 3-2. Fouls it back. Rafael Devers, since the start of last year, has swung and missed at the high fastball more than any hitter in baseball. And that's where they've gone with the last 3 pitches, trying to put him away. Another payoff pitch. Too high this time, and a bases loaded walk from Rafael Devers has given the Giants the lead again.
Well, we talked about the gauntlet that the Dodgers have from their 3 through 7 hitters, getting 4 hits in a row earlier. These Giant hitters 2 through 5 all have 2 hits. And this is a tough part of the order where Dave Roberts is going to the pen again.
Alex Vesia had given up just 2 hits the last 12 games, 3 of them tonight. Will Klein thrown right into the fire in a 4-3 game with the bases loaded here in the 7th.
Looking for a punch out, a pop up, or double play ball.
And it is Elliot Ramos coming up. Single and a double in this game for Ramos. Swings and misses at a first pitch sweeper. 4th consecutive 2-hit game for Ramos. He's going to rise at 3rd, Schmidt at 2nd, Devers at 1st after his bases loaded walk. Break the tie here in the 7th. Klein with back-to-back breaking pitches to get ahead 0-2.
Be a huge hitter to get through without giving up a run, because the rest of the Giant order 6 through 9, they're 0 for 11 with just a walk. This gauntlet that they just put up there this inning with these bases loaded and already pushed to Ross 1, all those guys had a lot of hits.
Then a fastball, and he blinks right through it. On 3 pitches, he retires Ramos. 2 out.
This works.
Shortstop number 2.
Breaking ball heater.
7th of the game for Dodger pitching, so get your Jumbo Jacks tomorrow for free. Still loaded, 2 outs. Willie Adames hit it hard a couple times, but he's 0 for 3. Swings through a first pitch sweeper that had more of the plate than Klein would like. Trying to preserve Vesia's line. 0-1 pitch. Chopped foul. 5 pitches, 5 strikes.
4 of them breaking balls. Do you go with the same sequence and freeze him with a fastball, or do you stick with the breaking ball? If you throw the fastball, for me, I think you throw it up around the neck.
Either way, this is the guy that they encouraged Will Klein to be when they got him last year. Said, your stuff is so good. You don't need to pitch around the zone. Pound it in there. Here he comes with an 0-2. There you go. Very high with it.
That strategy has existed for a long time. You double up with it, or do you break him ball away? It's one or the other. If he goes high fastball, it'll be more to the middle of the plate, but it'll have altitude, hopefully. If he goes breaking ball, it's going to look like a strike, end up a ball.
Adames 1 for his last 25 against breaking balls. He left it over the plate, and it was smacked into right field for a base hit. A rise in to score. Schmidt's right behind him, and it's 6-3. Oh, with 2 strikes, he put it on a tee for an aggressive hitter.
Well, you go to throw the really good breaking ball, and it has a tendency to slip out because you're just trying to make this ultimate one, and it slips out, and it just stays there. Just a little corkscrew spin with no break, and that's the one the hitter, they don't miss. How it left your hand is how it arrived at the plate. A lot easier to hit.
Chopper from Chapman to Betts at short. That's it for the 7th, but that one hurts. 3 runs for the Giants to retake the lead. Stand and stretch. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Well, the Giants came in here after winning an extra innings game yesterday against Pittsburgh, saying they were hoping that was the start of something bigger. And a struggling offense has scored 5 runs the last 2 innings to lead 6-3. It's Betts, Freeman, and Tucker coming up for the Dodgers in the 7th. Mookie in his first game since April 4th, 1 for 3 with a single. Against Matt Gage. Takes ball 1. Dodgers 9 hits in this game, but only the 3 runs to show for it. Gage is 1-1. Betts grounds it to short. Willie Adames picks it off and throws him out.
First baseman, number 5, Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman's 2 for 3.
It's a big hill for the Dodger offense to climb, not because of a talented roster that they have, but where they are right now in their run production lately. 8-10 over the last 18 games. Half of those they had 2 runs or less. 11 of the 18 they scored 3 runs or less. They mixed in a couple of 12-run games.
Yeah, weird.
But what they're looking for is like 5 or 6 a night. Not the big spikes and then the low production on the other nights.
We've talked about it recently, but they went through a 2-month stretch last year where they were the worst offense in the National League by some measures, and you wind up not remembering that because of the way that it finished. You can take a little comfort out of that, but when you talk about that to the players and to the coaches, they say, yeah, and we appreciate that, know that it's a long season, but it doesn't make it any more fun to go through it. So in the same way you're sitting at home saying this is terrible, this is not fun to watch, they're feeling the same thing. Full count on Freeman.
You can go back and study history of championship teams, and you'll probably find a month in each one of them where they were under 500. You know, you'll find that 12-13 month, but you'll also find like a 20-5 month.
2 out.
They're going to hit flat, looking dead. Times of the year it happens. They're not fun, but it happens. Still time left in this one.
Here's Tucker. single and a walk today. Gage trying to put together the first 1-2-3 inning against the Dodgers since the second. Breaks his bat and a fly ball to right field for Lee. And there is a 1-2-3 inning for Gage. Baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers. Discover the complete Ford lineup, rugged, stylish, and powerful trucks and SUVs, engineered for your adventures. 2 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th for the Giants. Take a 6-3 lead. On to the 8th inning we go, in the first of 4 between these clubs, facing off at Dodger Stadium for the first time this year. When they met up in San Francisco, Dreyer suffered his lone loss this year. Gave up that game-winning home run to the now Cleveland Guardian Patrick Bailey. 7 games since then, though, Dreyer has not allowed a run, and he's in with strike 1 on Harrison Bader.
Fastball has been very good. The slider has been outstanding this year. League only hitting 188 off of it.
Last year's surprise even to make the roster. Stuck all season and has solidified himself pretty darn quickly. Never think twice when he comes in. Swing and a miss and a big curveball. He's ahead 1-2. Undrafted, but it's misleading when you see that he's undrafted. That was because of injuries while he was at Iowa. Hardly pitched as a Hawkeye.
You see some phenoms that look like they're going to be big leaguers by the time they're 16, 17 years old.
Bader goes up the middle with a base hit. Leadoff single or leadoff extra base hit for Harrison Bader as that makes its way through left center field. Bader's got himself a double.
Some guys take a little bit longer to get it going. Sometimes it's an injury, sometimes it's a growth spurt, sometimes it's strength. And Jack Dreyer has become a reliable piece. He's going to have to pitch around this leadoff double.
Giants now with 11 hits in this ball game, and here's the catcher Jesus Rodriguez. 316 over his first week in the major leagues. 24-year-old from Venezuela. Not just catcher, he can play a little second base and even some outfield. And so they love the versatility and the increase in offense they give him, he gives them, with Bailey going to Cleveland. Helped spark this offense the last couple days. Walk-off hit yesterday. It's a walk out of the 9 spot today. Giants are 8 for their last 14.
First 5 innings, Dodgers give up 1 earned run, just 3 hits. But a bullpen that has been very good and consistent comes in the last couple innings, 5 earned runs on 7 hits. The surprising thing is they're 3rd in Major League Baseball with preventing inherited runners to score. And they went through a rough patch the last couple innings.
Bounce down to third for Muncy. Bader charges for third as the throw goes across. Freeman's throw is high. It's off Bett's glove, but stays in play. So Bader to third, 1 gone here in the 8th.
get the out to the left side, but they still try to capitalize on it. Freddie Freeman's throw bounces, and the netting saves it from going into the seats. So you're staying at third.
Infield comes in as Jung-Hoo Lee comes up. On the ground to first, Freeman's got it. He comes home, and they've got Bader in a rundown. Won't be an easy guy to get with his speed, but they will cleanly executing that pickle. Dreyer puts the tag on Bader, and it's the second time in this game the Dodgers have gotten a man at home with a drawn-in infield.
Freddie with a really good throw. Will busted him back, but he's got to take a few more steps. A few more steps to let Max have a chance to take a step forward and put the tag on him right away. The extra throw made it able to get to second base.
So that's where Lee is as Arise comes up. 2 more hits today. Average up to 315 for Arise. Almost got hit by that first pitch. Minnesota to Miami. Last 2 years in San Diego. First year in San Francisco for Arise. Ball and a strike on him. Giants trying to gather as much contact for the lineup as they could. This is the guy. More contact than anybody. So confident in his ability to make contact, and his team so confident in that ability that in San Diego he would put on his own hit and run. Signal it to the runner and say, hey, we're doing it. He's on a list of I can't imagine too many guys these days that have had that ability in this era.
Ability and permission to do it.
Right.
Mike Scioscia was able to do that when he was a Dodger. The whole key with those hitters, when there were more of those type of hitters, is that they give the signal to put it on, because instead of waiting for the manager gives them the permission to do it because they know what pitches and pitchers they can handle. And they have the latest information when they're in the box of, okay, I'm seeing them well, and this is a good count, and I got the right runner, so I can put it on.
2-2 from Dreyer. Got in on him and a pop up. Foul ground left side. Muncy the call and the catch. And they're able to pitch around the leadoff double. To the bottom of the 8th we go. 6-3. Always when the game finishes, stay tuned for Access SportsNet Dodgers, presented by Mercury Insurance with John and Jerry and Nomar. 6-3 San Francisco. The score here as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Will Smith the lead off. It's Keaton Winn to pitch for the Giants. Converted starter, former top prospect who has started to separate as one of the top guys in that bullpen. You were talking about the few big arms they have that they've leaned on heavily. Win one of them. First one to Will Smith is at the knees for a strike. Smith, Muncy, and Pages coming up here. Catcher for the Dodgers, 1 for 3 in this ball game. And an 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off, strike 2.
Keaton Winn's biggest step forward this year is the ability to get the splitter through the league. Last year the league hit 304 off of it. This year only 121.
Four-seam right there, fouled back.
He's got both fastballs, the four-seamer and the sinker. Splitter rarely throws a slider.
Wow, Smith somehow gets his hands in and dumps a base hit into right field. So we're talking about earlier, his ability to get to those inside pitches. And he leads off this 8th with a base hit.
A pitch where the league's hitting 121, but Will gets it for 1,000 here. Dodgers have gotten their leadoff hitter on 4 out of 8 innings. Giants 5 out of 8 innings, but the Dodgers need to push this one around.
Muncy, who is 2 for 3, has knocked in 2 of the 3 runs tonight. Strike 1 and a fastball. Swing cue that he's using right now is hands first. Rob Van Scoyoc is saying to him, hands first, home run, guarantee it. It's a simple cue right now that we talk about him sliding forward when he's not right. Just thinking to himself, hands first tends to get him all synced up. And so he must have been in the 4th inning, hands first. Home run, not in the 4th, but in the 6th. Went deep for the 11th time this year.
The hands first is not before the leg kick, but what he means when you go to swing the bat, when you stride. You can load, but then hands first after the load.
Trying to cut into this 3-run deficit. Bottom of the 8th inning. Leadoff man aboard. 1-2 to the plate. And a devilish splitter right there finishes him off.
Center field, number 44, Andy Pages.
1 away for Pages. Dodgers have 10 hits in this ball game. When they get 10 hits this year, they're 14-1. Problem is they've given up 11. Bigger problem is they've given up 6 runs. Win to Pages. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One advantage Andy has over Muncy is the splitter is going to come into him. And he rarely throws anything that would go away from him.
Bouncing ball left side. Backhanded Adames had a hard time getting down to the glove. They're still able to turn 2 to send this game to the 9th. It's the 4th ground out from Pages tonight. The 2nd double play that he's hit into. Dodgers taking a peek, and they're actually going to challenge here. Either way, Pages 0 for 4, 4 ground outs.
Looks like he's going to be safe, maybe by about 1 inch or 2. One more look at it.
Los Angeles is challenged in the out call at first base.
Safe. The only thing that's going to make him out is the call in the field was out. But it sure looks like he beats it. As the ball enters the glove, it's got to hit the leather. Fans here at Dodger Stadium are thinking it's going to get reversed.
And if it does, Teoscar Hernandez, who's had a good night, an encouraging night, is going to get a chance to bat.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Los Angeles will retain their challenge.
All right, so Hernandez, who has doubled, walked, and singled in this game, and quietly on this homestand has reached 7 of his 10 times up. Got his first extra base hit in 3 weeks, looking for his first home run in almost a month.
That little hesitation at shortstop to get the ball to the glove was the difference.
6-3 game, last of the 8th. 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th for the Dodgers. And now Teoscar Hernandez with Dalton rushing in the on-deck circle. It's in Rojas' spot. First one from Keaton Wynn. Hernandez takes a change for a strike, or a sinker for a strike. Strike two. Shallow center field. Bader will send under it and send this game to the ninth. In the late innings for the Giants in a 6-3 ball game as we move along to the ninth inning, and for the second time in as many days, Wyatt Mills is going to pitch for the Dodgers. Years away from the game, Tommy John surgery, fought his way back for his first outing in the big leagues in 4 years yesterday.
Really grateful for the chance and was excited to be in a Dodger uniform.
31-year-old from Spokane, Washington. Misses with his first one to Casey Schmidt. Giants bringing up 3, 4, and 5 here. And as you look ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning, 9-1 and 2 due up for the Dodgers. One ball, one strike. Ryan Walker has, for a lot of the year, been the closer, started to phase out of that role. And it looks like Caleb Killian is going to be the guy for the most part moving forward. He's warming in the pen. A little bit outside, ball two. It has been a not just closer by committee, but really every role by committee. As Tony Vitello tries to navigate his way through, figure out what he's got out there. Two and two on Schmidt. With a good game. 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Goes full on the former two-way player at San Diego State. Schmidt emerged as a hitter, but as a freshman there at San Diego State, he had a sub-1 ERA as the closer. Takes a leadoff walk. Now, no bigger thing has happened in this game than the continuation of Rafael Devers' emergence. Last 10 games coming in, he was above 300. Started to see more extra base pop from him. Tonight, 2 hits, including a home run and a bases loaded walk.
So comfortable at bat for him against the side armor. We're looking for something middle in. Get something low and away from him until you hit the top of the ball, maybe get you a double play.
Pop back, 1-1. Rafael Devers, 8.5 years in Boston. Relationship that had soured by the end of it to the point where Red Sox were willing to move him. Giants got that big hitter they'd been looking for. Schmidt runs, throw from Smith, bounces into center field.
just misses Devers. Will Smith, the inside fastball closes your front shoulder so you can get a quick release, but it was a really good jump from first base.
Yeah, they're going to put Devers on now. Schmidt, by the way, didn't attempt to steal the last 2 years. That's his 3rd stolen base already this year. So first and second, nobody out. Giants trying to break this game open with Elliot Ramos, one of their hottest hitters, up there. You'd hate to see him break through for more insurance here with the hitters Dodgers have coming up.
Giants have done a good job setting the table and getting opportunities. 6 of the 9 innings they have gotten a leadoff hitter on.
Count evens 2-2. The 3 walks have loaded the bases. So much of the talk lately has been about the lack of offense, and in terms of run scoring tonight, that's continued. The 3 runs, although on 10 hits, so some signs of life for the offense. This is a rare game where the pitching has let him down. 6 runs on 11 hits and now 5 walks. One of the big swings in this game came from Willy Adames in the 7th inning. 2 outs, 2 strikes, and a pitch that Will Klein would like back.
Yeah, it was just a corkscrew breaking ball that he tried to go low and away with while he was ahead in the count with 2 strikes and just came underneath it, slipped out, gave up the hit. If you look at what Wyatt Mills has done, yes, of course, the walks, but the thing that'll stall a career, somebody who has a really good arm and a deceptive delivery, is just not being able to locate.
Base hit for Adames into left. And it's 7-3. Adames went into yesterday without a multi-RBI game over the last month. He knocked in 2 yesterday. He's knocked in 3 today. Giants club that heard boos in San Francisco on Saturday night. They got rolled 13-3 by Pittsburgh. They've scored 7 runs, though, in back-to-back games since then. They'd only done that 4 times all year prior to yesterday. Two 0 to Chapman.
With the scoreboard and bases loaded, no out, and there's no action in the Dodger bullpen, Wyatt Mills is going to need to get the ball over the plate and get some outs, because I don't think Dave Roberts wants to give him any help with this stretch of games with no off days. This inning could be completely his.
This is one of those lose the battle to win the war moves.
Yep.
And it's 8-3. Dodgers' first 38 games this year gave up 7 runs 3 times. This is the 3rd straight game they've given up at least 7. So Mills still looking for the first out of the inning. 2 in the bank already, and Bader, who doubled his last time, is up there. Oh, 2. Series will continue tomorrow. It is Yamamoto for the Dodgers. Adrian Hauser in his first season with the Giants looking for his first win. He's 0-4. ERA is above 6. Against the Dodgers in his career, Hauser's given up 17 runs in 11 innings. So try to get right against him. Robbie Ray against Shohei Ohtani on Wednesday. And then Landon Roop and Emmett Sheehan on Thursday. All the games in this series at 7:10. Bader to third, caught by Muncy.
Walks will kill you, and sometimes they even hit it hard and you get an out. Good job, Max, by concentrating the way this inning is going, the way the scoreboard is going.
Jesus Rodriguez 0-3. Inside for a ball. Rodriguez won yesterday's game for the Giants with a walk-off hit in the 12th inning, but before that, in the 10th inning, he came up in this situation, bases loaded, 2 out, and struck out. And he said he tried to learn from that at-bat. He said he got way too aggressive, where normally that's not him. Guy that sees a lot of pitches, makes a lot of contact. When he does swing, and applied what he learned quickly to have the first walk-off hit of his career. That's one of the things people around the Giants say they like about him. How coachable he is, how quickly he adjusts. Looking for every little edge they can get offensively. One of the best offensive games of the year tonight. These 8 runs on 12 hits. Up the middle. Rojas has just one play. And a 3rd run scores, 9-3. 8 of the 9 runs coming from the start of the 6th on.
It was 3-3 in the 6th. You got 6 unanswered runs from a bullpen. That those 6 earned runs are a ton, because in the 6 prior games they'd given up 3 earned runs in 22 2/3 innings. This is just a big bump in the road.
Lee, 8th man to bat in this inning against Mills. And hit him. Rare is the time these days when you see this many empty seats at Dodger Stadium. What was a really good crowd on a Monday night is just about emptied out at this point. Having seen enough.
World Championship Trophy replica night. Budweiser brought us that. That brought a lot of people into the ballpark. They didn't see a World Championship effort tonight.
Challenge here from Will Smith. Leads the majors, by the way, in successful challenges, does Smith. Powered by T-Mobile here in the 9th inning. They've got one to use, and they still will.
Ball's overturned. The pitch is a strike. Los Angeles has one challenge remaining.
Here in the 41st game of the year, that's the 27th successful challenge for Will Smith. And that's team games. This is the 28th start for Will Smith at catcher and the 27th successful challenge.
It's well done. We're reaching for something to get excited about.
Rise ricochets one off of the mound to Mookie Betts. And that's that for the Giants in the 9th, but they get 3, and it's a 6-run game. All Giants here late, 9-3 ball game to the bottom of the 9th inning. JT Brubaker's on to pitch for San Francisco, looking for the last 3 outs. Brubaker, who threw over 30 pitches on Saturday and then was warming again yesterday, that game in extra innings, had it continued, he was going to come into pitch again, but gets used right here, looking for the last 3 outs of this game.
His last 4 outings have been rough ones, an ERA over 7, so Dodgers might cause a little noise right here. Brubaker looking to get on track.
Missed 2 full years because of Tommy John surgery. Came back last year for the New York Yankees. And got traded to the Giants. Strike 1 on Miguel Rojas. 9-1-2 for the Dodgers here. Down 6. And in danger of suffering a 3rd consecutive defeat by at least 5 runs. Down to 3rd and Chapman. If that happens, it'll be the first time since 2008.
That makes it sting. We talked about these last at-bats possibly for Ohtani and how it could lead to tomorrow if he can get a hit. Well, he did that a couple nights ago, but it hasn't turned him around. He has not found it. Not yet.
No sure way to spark this slumbering offense than to get him going.
Pitching staff having a rough night tonight, but if you were going to choose which one do you need him to perform best at with the health of the pitching staff and how good the starters have been, you need him to perform on the offensive side more importantly than the pitching side.
And the Cy Young pursuit is great and noble, and hopefully he makes that push and wins it. But I think the best version of the team, when you're talking about championship aspirations, has him performing much, much better as a hitter. Even if that means a tick off of the pitching.
Yep, that is pretty self-explanatory right now, isn't it? With his abilities at the plate have been struggling.
So 0 for 5 tonight. One of the only bright spots of this game is seeing Mookie Betts back on the field again. He's 1 for 4. A couple nice plays defensively. He's looked comfortable. Swings look good.
Yeah, after watching him perform tonight in the batter's box and in the field, running the bases, I would say that the biggest question mark is tomorrow morning when he gets up, how do you feel? They don't plan on playing him every single day for a while. Just Kirsten reported before the game on how the workload will go for Mookie. And he will get certain days off that are planned for a little while.
Plan for this series is to play these first 2 games and then have Wednesday off. And for just the first week or 2, ease him back in.
And if he was feeling anything today, any fatigue or any stress at all, this at bat wouldn't be happening. They would say the workload was enough, but I'm sure Mookie said, no, I want this at bat.
It's a fly ball to left field for Drew Gilbert. And the Dodgers drop their 3rd in a row in blowout fashion, 9-3 to the Giants.
Coming off a 500 road trip, this is not the way they wanted to start this homestand.
Try to even it up tomorrow as Yamamoto takes it for the Dodgers against a guy they have always hit hard in Adrian Hauser. For Earl Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow night. Whoa.
That